Get the firing squads and the animal wagons ready.
I'm sorry. Wait, what? Firing squads? You didn't say anything about those.
Too late to back out now. You can't make an omelet without breaking a few minutes.
I'm sure this is going to have no effect on the story whatsoever. This is just a funny little side conversation. All right, roll up your sleeves and further and breathe in the pristine air. Okay, first of all, I'm going to come over here.
The precarious world.
Finish this. This art.
How not to lose. It is impossible not to. The world is balanced on the edge of a knife. It's a game of frayed nerves. You're pushed on by numbers and punitive measures, pain, rejection, and unpaid bills. You can either play, or you can crawl under a boat and waste away. Turn into salt, or a flock of seagulls.
I
Your
ran
enemies would
so
love
far
that.
away.
Or you can fight. The only way to load the dice is to keep on fighting.
To load the dice, I would need at least 2, and unfortunately, I've only got the 1. Critical success and failure thresholds lowered by 1. Does this mean I auto succeed on an 11 and 12? Maybe something else could have raised the failure threshold where I could have auto failed on a 2 and now, or on a 3, and now it brings it back down to a 2. 5 plus 6 is a critical success. 1 plus 2 is a crit failure. You think it made it easier to crit fail? So it sort of raised the failure threshold and lowered it there. Auto fail on a 3. Auto succeed in 11. Okay, so it's sort of thickened the margin on both sides is what we figure. Okay. Cool. I guess it theoretically makes situations where if I had huge stats, like let's say I keep pumping points into, hey Paul, let's say I keep pumping points into Paul. It's not what I meant to say. One moment. If I keep pumping points in the Inland Empire, and it has a huge modifier, and you know, I get these die rolls, and I'm basically going to succeed except on a double 1. Now then I can also fail on a 1-2. On the other hand, making it possible to crit succeed on things that are normally a lot harder is kind of interesting. Anyway, I guess it's fine. Works both ways, I suppose. Sure. Mazovia. So, do I have a cap on how many of these I can put in? I don't know. I'm still probably going to want to slot most of these in. Okay. Mazovia and socioeconomics. So while this is running, I'll get a -2 to visual calculus. I mean, that's certainly less bad than failing all the red checks. People think communism is some crazy idea that had to come up 40 years ago. A fever that shook the world, never to return again. They were right, until he woke up today. A spiritual corpse responsive only to the call of Commodore Red, prostitutes, and Krasmazov. For him, communism is still a thing. He will single-handedly raise the commune of O2 from the oceanic trench where it has been resting, covered in ghosts and seaweed. He is the big communism builder. Come, witness his attempt to rebuild communism in the year 51. Oh, I gotta unlock a research slot. So these are... Oh! Okay. So maybe there's a full cap, but there's actually another cap altogether, which I might have to spend maybe skill points or something else will unlock these. Okay, so for now, I cannot pursue Mazovian socioeconomics. Damn it, the man is holding us back again. But, you know, if we're embracing, you know, comradeship that way, on all money is the same money, maybe I could ask Lena for some cash. So, Paul, thank you very much for your tip there. Super appreciated. Paul says, came late to the party. Hope you didn't disco too hard. Thank you for my favorite playthrough of 2025. Man, I am loving this playthrough so much. Such a good game. Sweetie needs money.
Oh, sweetie.
If she could, this woman would feed and clothe you and every other sad, lost person on
Let's do it. Tug on her heartstrings. I need this for the revolution.
Your deportment remains dignified as you shed a single manly tear.
It isn't easy for me to ask this of anyone, but I'm at the end of my rope. Any money you have could help me.
Sweetie, I only have a few cents on me, but
You know what, Lena? We're going to fix the system. It'll be better for you.
just I tied you over.
Give you this pawn. commemorative pin, not a pawn. She unfastens a gold commemorative pin from her left jacket pocket and drops it into your palm.
Wonderful. He has a pin.
The pin is round and slightly tarnished. 3 sailboats in bas-relief with the sun hovering over the water behind them. A chipped green banner at the bottom reads, San Baptiste, Summer 31. Dinghy races.
What is to pawn?
It's easy. You bring a valuable item to a pawnbroker, who then gives you money for it.
Oh,
can get
give
it
you
back
this
later
2
for a
pawn.
Slightly larger sum if
Missed
it
the 2.
hasn't been sold, but you never end up doing that anyway.
Where can I pawn the pin? I feel real bad that we're going to sell this thing that she's had for a while, but...
Cross the plaza and follow the road along the coast. Down by the water, there'll be a shack nestled against an old stone facade. That's the pawn shop.
It's pronounced
An old friend
Facady.
of my husband's goes there often. He says the owner is quite helpful.
Although in all seriousness, I really like the fact that they put a cedille there. As, you know, someone whose first language is French, when I am reading books that have facade but don't put the little cedille down there, I really do read it as facade, because, like, it would be a hard C unless it's got the little squiggly underneath it, then it softens it.
Items that can be pawned at Bird's Nest Roy's appear in your inventory under the Items tab. You can pawn these items when talking to Roy.
I kind of do want to promise this. I don't know if it's ever going to happen. I don't know if I believe this will ever happen. You know? Or do I just thank her? Promise I'll back for you when I have more money. When I bring down the capitalist system and we abolish currency, I'm going to get your pin back for you.
Oh, it's not an ancient family heirloom or anything, but I suppose it would be nice to get it back.
About your pin?
I hope you were able to pawn that old trinket.
Okay. I just wanted to thank you again. Do I give it back? I guess I can always change my mind.
Of course, dear. I just wish I could have done more.
I gotta get going now. Reality down. Oh, yes. Talk to a rich person. Yeah, we'll talk to them, all right. Return Lena's pin. Give you a commemorative pin to pawn when you're desperate for cash. The honorable thing to do would be to return it to her. Buy it back and return it to her once you have the money. Inspect the body. Yeah. Cross out, cross out. Okay. Next season of Pawn Stars. Yeah, I gotta call a guy who's an expert in commemorative pins. Did I talk to this guy before? Oh. All about the money, you know. I heard that, brother. Looks like Northern Lion. Bottle of rum has been knocked over. Beautiful dark liquid is spilling out. Oh, what a waste! Oh. Hello. Sim dock worker. Man is sleeping at the table wearing mud-caked boots and rolled down overalls. The back of his shirt reads wild pines encircled by a logo with a
On
tree.
the counter, rolled out of his open hand,
Hey,
you
Quill, pay
see
attention,
a
there's a new
blister
subscriber.
pack of headache medicine.
I mean, there's no such thing as personal property, right? So I can pick up these pills.
The man does not mind. You probably need them more than he does.
You've just picked up some magnesium. This item is stored in the bottom left corner of the screen above your character portrait. Use magnesium to heal your morale if you have morale damage.
Okay. I feel like these tutorial tips are repeating. I think we've seen this before. Maybe it's once per session. Maybe when we quit the game, it resets it. Ruckus talking to Gart, +1. What does that mean? Why would I want... You know, do I want to try to wake him up? Fuck it, it's an option. I must click it, right?
You gently shake his shoulder, but nothing happens. This man could probably sleep soundly in a ship's engine room.
No, he's dead. This unusually tasteful pin was produced to celebrate the St. Baptiste Summer Dinghy Race 31. It has the warm glow of a well-loved memento. And we're going to sell it for $3. So this is roulette. I think we can try the hangman again. Okay, and then we're going to go and try to get the cloak. Anyone else that's like unexpectedly glowing? I kind of want to go back upstairs, just see if anything's changed. Then we're gonna try to poke at the corpse again.
The door is closed.
We're gonna knock again.
Still no answer. Still nothing. The lieutenant gives you a quick glance. He doesn't like where this is going.
No, what? I'm not going anywhere. I was just wondering if she remembered anything new since this morning. I'm gonna recheck my room. Can I go back into my room? No. I'm locked out. All right, let's head downstairs. Corpse, cloak, and whatever else might be back there. Yeah, see, this is the thing, which I can't click on again, but that's the 1600 hours mess hall, I think. A little weird that you can't click on some of the signs a second time, but I think some of the things maybe you only spotted because of a perception check or something like that.
There he still is, looking right through you.
My shit is now
The
compressed.
body below is entirely dedicated
Oh,
to
okay.
that corpse smell.
Endurance. So endurance may be related to health?
It does now.
Ah, it is. Okay. Okay, so my endurance is my health. All right, let's do this. 72%. Actually, maybe I should have tried it first, then done it to do the reroll. I don't know, whatever.
Again, the corpse laughs at you, pus dripping from its mouth. You will never be able to hold it in. It's always too much.
Missed it by 1. Healing doesn't unlock checks, though. Okay. So you definitely want it maxed out first. All right.
Every time it happens, it gets worse and worse. There's nothing more to throw up now. All that's left is crying and convulsing dryly at the same time.
Dry heaving is the worst. I failed again? Seriously, this is how I feel. I failed again?
The lieutenant is clearly at a loss.
What do I do now?
Officer, you just need to be stronger. Learn to keep it in long enough.
I think now he's telling me I gotta put a skill point into endurance. Nothing else to do.
You can open this white check again by going to your
It's
character sheet.
literally it.
It's okay if you don't make it today. The bloated corpse isn't going anywhere.
All right. I think we did talk to this kid. I really don't wanna. Son of a... Yeah, no, the sound is really hard. Especially, like, again, I'm not someone who deals well with this sort of stuff at all. Alright, let's go try to do this cloak here. Oh yeah, I guess capping out the morale for mental checks is also
A
useful.
tarpaulin cloak is still caught on the railing. No one has claimed it for their own.
It's interesting, it still says 3%, but theoretically we can get it on 11. So it should actually be better than this. Savoir-faire is getting a penalty from my trousers and my shoes. Oh, that's a white check. Hold on. So,
A tarpaulin cloak is still
Yeah.
caught on the railing.
although we might take damage, but let's see. Oh, I think I did take damage. Maybe the check is just to avoid taking damage. Maybe I can't fail to get my cloak. Nope.
Nope, no. That's still too high. What were you thinking? You're not a gymnast. You're a boxer. And you've climbed way too high up here.
Okay, I don't know where the voiceover was coming from. Holy wow, that's high. Doesn't seem dangerous. Lieutenant must be crazy. Sorry, can't make it. Okay.
Sure.
Oh, I did take
Just
the
be careful,
health damage.
okay? Looks like...
Okay, let's try this again. No pants, no shoes.
A tarpaulin cloak is still caught
Oh.
on the railing. No,
So that didn't unlock it. So just cycling items doesn't unlock it. Okay, then I would have taken it off right away. But we didn't know that yet. Now we do. Not just taking off items, which changed your total, isn't the same. So there are certain events that unlock checks, and there's certain and putting a skill point definitely unlocks some things. Okay. I can't reach anything over there. Did we ever? I don't think we can get down there. No. Okay. Yeah, I'm out of heating items. We may have to go buy one. I don't know. We'll probably just wait until we run into another one again. Why can't I just pop up here? Like, seriously. Kim, can you give me a boost? Okay. Did he give me the key for this? Oh. Logo and municipality of Revachol. Okay.
This trash container is locked.
Open the padlock with the key.
Lid as a padlock that says, with a well-oiled crack, the lock pops open. It should now be possible to simply raise the lid. Don't. Maybe you shouldn't.
Didn't I just have a premonition that there's something in there? That's it. Maybe whatever it is we don't want to see.
There is. But you won't like it. Sweat forms on your brow.
I haven't liked a single thing since I woke up this morning. How is this going to be any different? That's not true. I did kind of like the kid outside the bookstore. That's probably the exception. Open the lid.
The smell of rotten food
Plus I need
rises
XP.
to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
Oh, there we go. I don't know why the continue didn't show up right away.
We're just in time. This hasn't been emptied for over a week.
All right, let's start picking through it. I did like the dice lady, you're right. And Kim, of course, that's true. All right, look under the boxes of carton.
You see milk, an egg rest with one broken egg in it, some pasta wrapper. Picking up the soggy packages somehow feels familiar.
Was I a garbage collector in a previous life?
A box falls into pieces in your hands. Baptiste Soleil cereal. There are plastic pasta packages below, and turbo noodles. Nothing of note, however.
Pick at the rags.
Among the threadbare kitchen towels, something catches your eye. A pair of denim trousers.
New pants! I mean, not new. Garbage pants!
As the legs of the slime-covered jeans begin to unspool from the garbage, a rank corpse smell fills the air.
The victim's clothes?
Yeah, the victim was
The
stripped.
lateral odor is faint. If these belong to the deceased, they were removed when he was still in the early stages of decay.
Post-death, though. Not pre-death.
Drop them in here, officer.
Produces a black plastic bag marked evidence from his pocket. Bag the trousers.
Guitar marked blue jeans. Pockets empty or emptied. He wore them with a belt, too. A white belt. The loops appear stretched, but
He looks into the container.
the belt is missing. That's it. Do you see anything else in there? I have another bag here.
Something slimy catches your eye.
Nope. Suck it up and deal. Reach for it.
A drab, long-sleeved shirt, olive-colored, appears from the food waste, dripping with pus.
Bag the shirt.
This is a military type overgarment. No label or serial
Blech.
number. This is the kind of rib-knit shirt that's worn over light armor to conceal it in an urban scenario. Anything
Hey,
more?
Quill, pay attention. There's a new subscriber.
Dude, the sub. Fent Maxer. Hey, thanks for the sub.
The rest of the rags are just kitchen variety waste. A yellow old mug that catches your eye. But other than that,
I want the mug. Thrown out towel, a mug, that's all.
All right. We should go to Gart again and ask if he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning the yard. Or that one. I'd advise against confronting that force.
Yeah, no, I don't want to talk to the freaking kids again. You think someone from the whirling might been involved, maybe?
Not really. All we know is the victim's clothes are in the trash. The lid was locked, and his establishment had the key. It's just a small...
We probably do need to add the stupid kids.
The fuck's he on about? Kids? You hear that, Kuno? He thinks you're an infant or something.
See?
All right.
the lieutenant nods, then looks back into the trash container.
I mean, the text before is indicating that we might be done, but I gotta check these others. Search the food waste.
It's just organic waste, cold and slimy on your hands. Apple and potato peels, mostly. Unidentified sludge, and the occasional chicken bone thrown in for good measure. But hey, nothing. It's nothing. Nothing more to see here. What's this?
What?
A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels. It's shiny. Looks like the corner of
You
something.
have a lot of blue things, you know? Check it out.
Something larger. A clipboard. A blue plastic clipboard with moist papers hanging from it. They look badly damaged, but you can still make out forms and notes, written in a man's handwriting.
Officer, is that your paperwork?
I don't know what this is.
It is. Look, the plastic has the RCM street grid on it. You've even got an autopsy form in there.
A miserable-looking slip of paper sticks to the board.
If you don't mind my asking, how could you have let your paperwork end up in the trash?
Has a foreboding quality to it? Maybe I needed to lose it for the great bloodletting to begin. Listen, let's keep all these plans of the great bloodletting just under a hat for a little bit, okay? I think I didn't want to be a cop anymore. That's why I tried to flush my cop life down the toilet. Honestly, I am starting to wonder about this. We keep seeing a few references. Maybe I did intentionally just try to sabotage my entire career.
Well,
He doesn't know what to say.
His eyes express a rare condolence. Then he picks it up.
lucky we found it. You should take stock of what remains, just to be sure some has not made it into the hands of the RCM's adversaries. Organized crime and the like. There might have been police secrets in your notes.
No, man, it sounds like an order. Don't take those. No, it sounds like excellent advice from Kim, who I trust. Okay, I'll do that.
It would also not hurt to start taking notes on the case. Now, tell me what your eagle eyes see.
Read
Or
your
are we finished?
read your ledger and name the case. We get to name the case?
Some items, such as the ledger you
Yeah, I know
found,
how to
are
interact.
interactive.
The mug. I'm getting that mug too. I totally am.
You pick out a broken mug with an oddly racist depiction of the yellow man frolicking in saffron,
Ew. An antique?
only in its social sensibility.
Hey, I don't know if I want to take the mug anymore. But it's the only option. And briefly, dude, I didn't have a choice but to take it at that point. Oh man, close the
The
lid.
container sounds a muffled gong.
That's one thing off the list. I think we got it all.
Hey, so we've been monitoring you internally, and now we know your copo type.
First of all, who's we? But also, wait, there are copo types? Is that like cop type?
Yes. Guess what's yours?
I'm a cool cop, right? I'm totally cool.
No, you're the sorry cop. The cop who's sorriest. Let's make it official then, shall we?
That does sound right. That does sound accurate. Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah.
Huge lack of enthusiasm going on in here.
Oh. What are the other capo types?
Oh, you know, Apocalypse, Superstellar, the advanced interesting cop, Liquid Shadow.
I want to be interesting.
But you're too sorry to say those things. So, here we go.
Won't the other capo types be jealous?
What? Jealous of the sorry cop? I think they'll be fine. They'll be super, super fine. It'll be totally okay. You can dual copo type from sorry to anything.
Fucking, they should be sorry. I mean, do these lead to an opt-out? Because I kind of want to see what these are. But like, if you know, the game's not wrong. That's kind of how I've been playing my sad sack of a cop over here. I'm not gonna say this, change my mind. No, I guess I'll just opt in. Yeah, the Canadian cop. I'm sorry. I think statistically most people stumble on sorry cop in the first playthrough. I can buy it. I mean, this guy's he's a sad sack of shit, this guy. So it makes sense. All right. I'm sorry.
Of course you are. It's okay. See if you can get something out of this, like info. Or maybe every time you say you're sorry, you get $1 million. That won't happen.
I got a new thought. Rigorous self-critique. -1 authority while it's running. Embarrassment to the party. You're one sorry piece of shit, a cop penitent, a flagellant cop monk. This is not the right line of work for you. You should be groveling at the feet of a feudal lord, providing lurid evidence against yourself at a Mazovian show trial, or ripping the flesh from your back with a cat of nine tails. I mean, that'd be a little bit more than I thought, but whatever made you this way, you can be damn sure it was your own fault. Do it. Really criticize yourself. Who knows? You might uncover something of importance from a guilt-ridden past. All right? Case needs an official name. Right, let's interact with this damaged ledger. See, someone on Monday said something about you can interact with the ledger in your inventory, which you didn't have it at the time. But it's again evidence that people cannot hold the spoilers. You gotta keep that spoiler shit in your pants, man. I don't want to ask the Kuno anything. I am the sorry sack cops. Okay. Yellow Man mug, which I can interact with? This broken-eared mug somehow made its way into the whirling and drags dumpster. It depicts a person of Samaran descent, frolicking in a field of saffron fields, buck-toothed and grinning feeble-mindedly. Seems to be a cheap knockoff from some colonial-era antique. Can I interact with it to smash it?
It's just a racist mug. What's there to read here?
There's quite a lot to read into here, actually. Look at all that content.
Oh boy, here we go. What are you going to say about a broken, tossed-away mug that you dug out of the garbage?
This mug's an example of prejudice. I'm going to use it as an example of what not to do. I'm going to push this in the face of every merchant I find and tell them this is your inane ideology. This mug will be useful. By denouncing it, I can earn political capital to mask my badass hustling, i.e. fraud and embezzlement. This mug didn't belong in the trash. It was just a funny mug. Can't anyone laugh anymore? Yeah. Push it in the face of every merchant I find and tell them this is your inane ideology? What does that mean? I don't even know what it means. By denouncing it, I can earn political capital to mask my badass hustling. I mean, one's my first instinct. Fraud and embezzlement. So this is me pretending I'm a good person, but actually being a jerk and behind things. Two does sound kind of commie, but I'm not entirely sure. It's like an example of what? Crass commercialization? I mean, it's kind of that. But yeah, like, definitely don't tell me what these do behind the scenes. I'm not looking at the chat right now, because if anyone's actually telling me what's behind the scenes, that would be a terrible thing. And then we're just going to go one. Smug's an example of prejudice. I'm going to use it as an example of what not to do.
But it was in the trash. Why not just call it out when you see it? Or do some volunteering work. Just finish your case, detective.
Yeah. All right. Can I interact with it again?
It's just a racist mug.
I want to get into that mug talk again.
It will not happen. The mug talk is exhausted. It is time to return to work.
All right. Damaged ledger. This is the ledger you found in the trash. It's full of notes written. I thought, it is a clipboard, sort of. And other things. And a banana peel. And a six-pack ring. Have a closer look. Maybe it can be salvaged. Start keeping notes on the case.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display is made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
Anything else?
There's a piece of toilet paper. Or is it cleaning tissue? No, it's toilet paper. Desperately sticking to the back of the blue plastic clipboard.
Lovely.
It's a metaphor for you.
I am sorry, cop.
Below the pathetics, terror. Do not look into its blue heart.
I want to look into its blue heart. First, I will... Do I really want to inspect the toilet paper, or do I just want to pick it off gingerly and then get some hand sanitizer?
It's just toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic clipboard. You can take it off if you want.
I'm going to take it off.
Still wet, the toilet paper peels off the plastic easily. All you have to do is shake it off with your finger and voila. The ledger now looks marginally better.
Shake it off. Okay, we did get a skill point. I am wondering if we should invest an extra point in endurance. First of all, to get a little bit more padding on our hit points. It turns out there's quite a few times this comes up. I still want to stack Inline Empire because it sounds cool. I still love freaking drama. My god, do I love drama. I mean, I can wait. I can wait a little bit longer to decide. Can I put a skill point into this? I can. I think. It looks lit up. I think it was gray before. I know it's red now. I really do like the thought cabinet stuff, and I kind of do want to unlock some more. I think I'd rather do the rigorous self-critique. Like, if I'm going to do one of these two. I think I'd like to start with that. It was endurance, I think, for the... Yeah, savoir-faire was for the cloak, but endurance is for the body, which is kind of important. And then if I do that, I might be tempted to put a second point in to get us up to 4 for the same thing as Shivers, where it comes up on medium checks from time to time. I think I'll do this. Alright, inspect the clip.
An aluminium block runs the width of the board, biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the papers together. A regular pencil, the tip worn down to nothing, has been attached to the clip.
Run your finger down the aluminium.
The surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's rectangular, sparkling with iridescence. You don't know how you didn't notice it before.
Hey, Lieutenant, what's this?
What? That thing. It's a halogen watermark. We use it for adding information to RCM property.
What kind of information?
It depends. Aside from an anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has my station number and address. The information varies by date of issue.
Maybe yours will have how many cases you've solved.
I'd be worried about what that number would be.
How many years you've been on the force, he's thinking. It'll have that.
How can I read it?
Any capable light with the right wavelength will do.
Like, for example...
All RCM vehicles have headlights designed to reveal halogen watermarks. Mine too.
This means you can read the watermarks if you just turn the lights on.
Groovy, thanks.
Okay.
While a bunch of sodden papers sag from the clipboard in your hand, it's a sorry sight.
Browse the white papers.
They're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol, and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, reaching its tendrils across entire pages. The paper itself is checkered, with faint red lines, forming short paragraphs. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden,
Jeez.
earmarked pages falling apart in your hands. They appear to be sufficiently organized and extremely dense.
That's a lot of info.
Mostly illegible.
What's in there? What are they about?
Work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51, this year. The exact number is hard to estimate due to missing pages and an odd naming convention. But there are at least 20, maybe 30 cases undertaken. Not completed, mind you. It's the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week on average.
Is 2 cases a week a good caseload, Lieutenant?
Huh? 2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes.
Yeah, 2 cases a week appears to have been my load, Lieutenant. I'm not sure I completed them, though.
2? That's a lot. I didn't mean to say you are making mistakes, by the way. It was presumptuous of me.
Don't backpedal now. I am sorry, cop. I'm sure I made plenty of mistakes.
It's okay.
Actually,
We all make
I should have gone with the burned out option.
God knows I've made my share. He tries not to think of them.
Oh, Kim, no, buddy.
Like a fan of gills, the checkered papers dry in your hand. The handwriting is extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
There was mention of a naming convention here?
Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins. Yet, still more tellingly, most are accompanied by a name. A title, one might say even. One that draws inspiration from snoop fiction and vespertine cop show staples.
Vespertine is a lovely sounding word. Oh my, and they're written in capital letters too.
Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The Unsolvable Case. Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the hookah parlor. Even the rare article-free collapsing tenement. Murder features prominently throughout. It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them up close.
Kim, my cases appear to employ some kind of naming convention.
You mean the alphanumeric? Officer, precinct, time of arrival at the scene?
No, I mean a non-numeric one with titles.
Oh, you mean the titular? Yes, well, so do I. In our defense, almost everyone in the RCM does.
Why is that?
It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves.
I seem to have named a case the Square Bullet Hole Murders.
Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named it that, to amuse myself.
How is that one funny? Mine's interesting. Square Bullet Hole Murder?
I pray his loved ones never find out.
What happened to him? Did he have a hole in his head?
Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident.
Count the pages. I have to open an official case. Is there room?
There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end.
It's my last case, everyone.
By the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages, breaking the case into subtasks to accomplish. Once all the tasks are accomplished, the case is complete.
All right, commit to paper.
Sadly, the ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil.
Oh my god, we're gonna have a subquest to find a goddamn pencil. Kim, do you have a pen?
The lieutenant looks at his blue notebook.
Oh, he's not gonna want to lend me a pen. Not me.
Like large caliber bullets on an ammo belt.
That's a good description.
It's downright incriminating. He has little choice but to give you one, although he really does not want to. He is not really saying anything, just standing there, looking at them.
You know you have to give one to me, right? This is how human society works, I believe. I mean, these are our pens, Comrade Kim. Our pens.
Wordless, he pulls one from the loop and hands it to you. The pen is cold, blue, and ready to write.
With this beauty, commit to paper.
The tasks you've completed flow out of the blue oblong pen in a brash freehand uncannily similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily. It's almost robotically simple. A language developed for mental rigor and simplicity. Inspect the victim's body. Interview the cafeteria manager. It's not exactly poetry, but poetry would be out of place.
Cross out the ones you've already finished.
A satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say. And you, and you. Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the citizens' militia. Now all that remains is to name the case.
Lieutenant, have you by any chance named our case?
No, actually. Any ideas?
The hangman, the Furies are at home in the mirror. The setting sun, shit on a stick. I thought we were going to get to name it, like, ourselves. If I'm going to choose one of these, I'm going to go with two. The Furies are at home in the mirror. I mean, really, it's the hanged man, but I feel like we're moving past this practicality. The Furies are at home in the mirror.
Furies? Yes, well, I don't know. I have to be honest, I'm not experiencing the internal strife that it refers to. And also, could you make it less poetic somehow? Just a normal case name, you know?
Yeah, but listen, I know you like your man with the hole in his head.
Normal name.
Yes. You know what that normal name is. But it's so plain. Anything else, please.
The problem is I don't really like 3 or 4. I like 2. Obviously, one makes sense. I can just say I don't have another name. Stick with my guns. Nope, I don't have another name.
Oh, well, then maybe I can suggest one.
Let me guess. The Hanged Man?
Oh, that's actually what I was thinking. The Hanged Man. I like that. A good, strong name. We have a very good name for the case now.
I wasn't saying that.
I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out.
What you can call it whatever you want. I'm going to call it The Furies Are at Home in the Mirror.
You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now.
Try this right now. Can I read the case files now?
Yes, you can piece them together using the alphanumeric code
barely.
on the margin. It always begins with HDB 41, then date of initialization and time of arrival on the scene, followed by the title. For example, HDB 41120111700, the Next World Mural.
Hang on. Yeah, what was I going to say? My precinct is 41. Yeah, weren't those Officer Precinct? Am I getting a hint about my name? I'm Horatio da Badass.
Why, yes, your precinct number is 41.
And HDB?
Every last alphanumeric in the files begins with it. And these are your case files.
It gets interesting,
It's
because
safe to say HDB are your initials.
I said Horace, but I was thinking Horace, like Horace, as opposed to Horace this way. I don't know about Debbie Berenger. Hram Jarin Bazinkin. Those aren't my initials. I'm not feeling them. Whatever, I'm going with option one because I said Horace.
That is improbable.
How long does it take to read a case?
It takes about half an hour to piece one together, using the system you've devised. Where do you want to start?
Okay, let's revisit this when we need to do some time kill. I don't need some time kill right now. I'm going to revisit this later.
Not much has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers still sags from the clipboard.
Let's browse the yellow papers.
In the back, you see thin, translucent copy of paper. Some neon yellow, some bright red, all covered in boxes, like marching armies. These look like official forms, waiting to be filled out.
Is one of them a money requisition form?
Then rip them from the binder and hand them out, according to type of form.
What types of forms are there?
3. The topmost are misconduct
I can start finding people,
ones are
like this
state
brat.
forms, and the bottommost are field autopsy forms. Each is easy enough to make sense of. You don't have to be an intellectual giant to do police work.
Misconduct fine.
A monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 250 real. Severe cases allow for 1,000 real, but that requires special paperwork. The details of issuing these fines are spread out over the rest of the fields, but they appear pleasantly vague.
Nice. Handy. What about station call?
These are quite sinister in tone. They give a date and time for the person to appear
Oh, I see.
at the specified
Summons.
police station. Below the call are the criminal
Hey, fish sticks, thanks for the bits.
by not appearing.
Field autopsy?
A dozen pages of thin copy paper, bright red in color. You see the parameters of a deceased human form waiting to be filled in. Age, sex, condition of internal organs.
Enough of these.
Yes, all that remains now is to fill those forms and hand them to people. Fines for wrongdoers, interview requests for bad guys, and field autopsies to dead guys. The rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear. Being sandwiched between the board and the rest of the paperwork must have spared the fragile copier paper.
Look at the clipboard.
It's made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone to submission with. The edges are rounded, however. The U4 size board feels thick and heavy in your hand. Light shimmers on its wet surface. On the back, you see the embossed letters, RCM.
What did you say the color was? I mean, it's clearly dark blue, but
Blue.
thanks.
The blue heart. Don't look into it.
What is this shit? What's this blue? Shaped ledger? It's Like an Etch-a-Sketch is going to erase it.
Something rattles inside, ever so lightly. Is there a hidden compartment?
Am I going to find my badge?
Permeables. It's not hidden per se. The compartment is made for permeable materials that would get damaged if something happened to it.
Peek inside.
The plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is not see-through. You cannot see to its center.
Do not look into its heart. How would I open it?
With your hands, you 4-sized pages hang from the clip screwed to the top of the board.
Fuck it. Let's try to open it.
Is not what you end up doing. You squeeze the plastic to slide it open, but nothing happens. Then you bend it some. Then crack it. The goddamn thing is stuck. The ledger quivers in your hand. As it shakes, the pages rustle. This pathetic mess suddenly afraid of you for some reason.
Let's smell the ledger, because this seems like a terrible idea.
The acidic stench of rotting food is rubbed off on the cellulose. It now forms the base of the experience. This base surrounded by a faint air of spoiled meat, the stuff of death itself, and then sprinkled liberally with the citrus zest of toilet cleaner.
All right, we're going to put this away for now. Oh, Kim. Get in front of... Oh, yeah, the headlights and read the watermark. Okay. But first...
We should think about calling it a day, maybe. The nights are still miserably cold.
Yeah, it's 10 p.m. I haven't paid the cafeteria manager for damages yet.
We should take care of that, then.
But I don't have the money.
Let's talk to him anyway. An officer of the RCM shouldn't be sleeping in the street. We'll figure something out.
Though he finds this situation frustrating, he is doing his best to not make you feel any worse than you already do.
So I'm guessing one of the levers on the car probably turns on the headlights.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
Kim, how do I turn on the headlights?
All right. Ready? I turn, you press start. It's next to the preheater.
He's downplaying his excitement. The lieutenant is more than happy to show off his precious carriage.
Cool. Press engine start.
The dashboard lights up with orange glow. The rounds per minute gauge jumps, and the engine of the Caprice Canadian comes to life with a whiny growl.
That is quite the sound. Press the button labeled headlights.
The lights unfold with a little click, casting electrical light onto the ground before the vehicle.
There you go. I'll turn them off from the remote once you're done.
You have a remote?
We just need to stand in front of the machine now.
As you hold your ledger's clip under the headlamp, an iridescent hologram appears. A street grid and the veins of a great river. A familiar sensation washes over you.
There she is. Revachol West.
Around the borders of the watermark are dozens, no, hundreds of micro-perforations.
Okay, look at the shimmering street grid.
The rectangular watermark is overlaid with the logo of the RCM, and yet the major arteries of Revachol are all recognizable. They shimmer in the Kanema's headlights.
I'm gonna look around.
You catch a faint glimmer from a broken beer bottle in the distance. Sounds. 2 men engaged in a drunken argument, followed by the closing of some distant window. In the middle of a broken plaza, illuminated in a cone of light, 2 men, one slim, the other sturdy. They are on the city stage, but only one of them knows his lines.
Ah, Martinez at night.
Where are we on this?
Let me see.
He takes the ledger for a moment and inspects it.
Right here.
His finger near